Hey, what's up super fans? It is Fit Nerd from Superheroes Ultimate, and today we're going to be unboxing the Marvel Legends X-Men Retro Wave. If you're new to this channel, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button so you can stay updated in the here and now in the superhero world. Alright, so here is the entire X-Men Retro Wave from Marvel Legends. Alright, so now we have the majority of this opened up. Now one thing that I like to point out is I didn't go all the way through over here because it's really not needed. If you just want to reach a figure like you see all this, this is the bottom where the little bit of the sticky glue is, and if you go all the way through you're risking the whole package just getting torn up. So I just want enough where I can actually just lift and pop it right out. Boom, everything's intact. Once I'm done with the figure, I can just open the book, pop it back in there and close it up, and there you go. So without further ado, let's check out Iceman. Alright, so Iceman looks kind of like Silver Surfer, only because of that silver tinge. I kind of would prefer if it was a little bit clearer looking. He still looks pretty damn cool though. He looks like, you know, basically the classic version of the Iceman that we all know, which is essentially, you know, this entirely made out of ice man, hence the name Iceman. Duh. His belt seems to be like it's a loose piece of the figure, but it's actually not. I mean, it looks like it's pretty stuck on there. He does come with the famous sled, which you can put right here on the back foot. You can see you could put it either way that you want on either foot. It is a different color, the sled itself. It's not really a sled or a snowboard or anything, but I guess they made it a different color just because they wanted it to stand out from the rest of the figure. Because if it's the same color, then, well, it's not gonna stand out. It's just gonna look like, you know, big part of him. Back foot, I wish that they would have done it probably in a way where the front foot could also kind of hinge on there versus just the back leg. Either way, looks pretty cool. Alright, so next up we have Wolverine, which is not in your typical outfit that most people are aware of, and a lot of people are calling this figure a dud. Now the only reason I don't believe that this figure is a dud, except for that cheesy little mask. Yes, Wolverine at some point went undercover, so he just wore all black and put on this Robin looking mask. Yes, apparently people will not be able to see, if you guys see that mesh looking thing. Yeah, apparently that's his disguise, and you wouldn't be able to tell that is Wolverine. It's kind of like a Superman complex where he wears glasses and then, you know, he takes them off and he's Superman. Whoa, you couldn't tell that that was him. Yeah, I don't understand it either. But nonetheless, the reason why I really actually am cool with this figure and I'm kind of excited about it is because it brings the famous Maramusa blade, which was forged by Maramusa himself for Wolverine. Many figures do not ever incorporate the fact that he actually did have a blade forged specifically for Wolverine, and this is actually the blade that was forged for Wolverine against the Silver Samurai. Alright, so this is the Wolverine with the mesh out mask, and they made him fairly hairy, as you can see right here. He's got a lot of fur going on, which is the typical Wolverine. He is a hairy little creature. His muscle definition looks pretty awesome. His articulation looks awesome. He does have that shoulder joint right here into the shoulder blade where he can go and open up and do the classic Wolverine, you know, thrashing right in. That is awesome. His claws look really cool, and he has interchangeable hands, which I like because you can actually change up to a hand right here without the blades and give him a different blade, which is the Maramusa blade. So that's pretty freaking awesome, because there you go, It's not a usual Wolverine that people will actually even know too much about unless you're a hardcore fan, but this is actually a really cool figure to have because this is actually one of Wolverine's many costumes. It is actually, in my opinion, it's pretty damn known, especially with the storyline against the Silver Samurai. So I'm happy to have it. I'd suggest that you guys have it, especially it goes very well with the Silver Samurai figure. So here is the Silver Samurai, which complements that Wolverine figure. Here's the Silver Samurai. Detail wise, he looks really awesome. I actually love the whole getup that he has, the whole armor. Like, this is comic accurate Silver Samurai, and he definitely pairs up. If you want to do a size comparison between the Silver Samurai and Wolverine, there is the size comparison, because Wolverine is supposed to be around 5'3" or 5'5" or something, so it's pretty accurate to how he should be in accordance to the Silver Samurai. So like I said, this pair right here, definitely cool and worth having, both that Wolverine and the Silver Samurai. Now the Silver Samurai, we saw it in the third Wolverine movie, which was okay. I mean, it gave us certain aspects like Viper and Silver Samurai, and the Maramusa blade was actually shown in the movies. That's the one thing that I really love about all these X-Men movies, is that they actually were able to depict certain things that us as fans would actually recognize or see on screen. So, and he has two accessories that come with this figure, which is the two swords right here. The hilt goes right, it actually looks pretty badass like that with the hilts. And then of course you could take out the swords and place them in his hands. You could take the swords, place them in both hands. He has that very, very smooth pivot right here at the bicep joint. That looks awesome. He can move pretty damn good at the shoulder too. And as far as the movements with the sword itself, check that out. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Great articulation with the arms for the sword itself. The only thing is that he cannot completely move them up, so you would just have to go right over here and then just move accordingly with the elbow joint here, which it does have that double joint, which looks awesome. Articulation in the legs isn't that great. Oh, actually, yeah, wow, he almost reaches his butt, to be honest with you. Look, he's got at least a perfect 90. Very nice figure. I really, really like it. I didn't think I would be this impressed by the Silver Samurai one, but I mean, this is pretty awesome. And I'm definitely gonna have them all decked out fighting against Wolverine. Next up on the retro wave, we have Cyclops, which actually looks really cool, really old school classic Cyclops right here. Cyclops is in the house, and I love this look right here, where he's kind of like powered up or ready to just unleash his optic beam. Now this figure does give me a little bit of nostalgia, only for the fact that I had pretty much the same exact figure. It was a little bit smaller back in the day though, and I think it was actually by Hasbro that made it. It was at least 20 years ago, 20 some odd years ago. I had the same type of figurine, so I have a little bit of nostalgia right now, but it did have one cool feature that I wish this one had, which was that you press a button right around here and this would light up red. That's the only thing that I really wish this would have. The figure itself actually looks really cool. I mean, the articulation is really good. He has that abdominal right here. He doesn't have that diaphragm rotation. He just has up and down motion over here, so he does his sit-ups, but he has a pivot over here at the waist, which makes up for it. The look right here with the hands, where you can just place them like so, and he's about to fire the beam. I like that. And I like the fact that you can actually swap the head, and you can place, you see this right here? It's basically an action scene type. Place his hands right around here like so, and there's the optic beam action shot right there. Now I don't like that the hand can't really reach back, so you kind of have to put it right behind right here, so the two fingers hold right on this right here, and that's where the two fingers are, right there. So this is an action shot. You could place his hand right here. It hangs on right into like a comic version of it, and he shoots the beam. I think that is a really, really cool accessory. It may not light up, but I mean, my light up one didn't have the accessory to do this. Cyclops. And we have old school Dazzler. This is the old school Dazzler that we're all familiar with in the comics, not the one with the white dress or the white outfit that we've also seen. We did get to actually see Dazzler in the Dark Phoenix movie, so like I said, that movie has very tiny amounts of merits, but it has some merit to it. Here we have Dazzler, and again with that kind of loose belt, which a lot of them do have. It's never gonna come off, there's no reason to take it off, but I guess just the fact that it moves around gives it a really cool effect, and it does. It really does give it a cool effect to just, you know, let it just sit there. The jacket looks a little bit of a mini version of a Gambit suit. I guess they use the same type of color. Looks really cool, really, really accurate to the comic. I mean, this is the comic Dazzler. Hardcore, I'm telling you, hardcore X-Men fans, you're gonna love these. And the accessories are her powers right here. If you see this small one, this is actually what goes onto her wrist. Alright, so you can place these two accessories, which are her powers of light, basically. I actually really like them. They look really cool. Again, they have that same purple as I've seen in the Psylocke figures, in the Gambit figure. But it works. I mean, it's cool. It definitely works. It gives it that effect. Look at that. That's Dazzler for sure. And it's pretty cool because you could pair her up, because in this wave we get Cyclops, and there was a little bit of a fling between Dazzler and Cyclops at some point with this Cyclops that had this outfit. So that's pretty cool. Look at the hair. I mean, look at her hair sculpt. Just her hair looks awesome. Look at her, like the details in her face. Old school Dazzler needs to get more attention, I feel, in the X-Men. Hopefully in the MCU we're gonna see a lot more Dazzler, or a lot more retro versions of the X-Men, because this looks awesome. I mean, if they could put this on the screen, I would love that. You guys know that I had to leave the best out of this wave for last. The best one out of this entire wave is the Gimli version of Storm. And a lot of us have been trying to complete the Gimli versions of the X-Men. And this is one of the ones that have been missing for a lot of people. And wanted to take a moment and give a big shout out to Performa with their cool gear with shaker cups, wristbands, all officially licensed. Star Wars, DC, Marvel, and so much more cool gear. Check out the description below and use code FITNERD15 and you will get 15% off your entire order. Alright, when I tell you that this is probably the best hair sculpt I have ever freaking seen on these Marvel Legends, you best believe it that this is, look at this, this is ridiculous. Her hair is one of the biggest things on this. I mean, the whole figure as a whole, the shoulder pads to the X's right here, which you can, if you're familiar from the animated series, you presses them and it's like an intercom type of thing. She's got articulation over here on her diaphragm. If there's one single figure that you must have of this entire wave, this is the one right here. Look at that. That is freaking Storm, man. Dude, the shading of this white, the white tone of this outfit, to the yellow, to even this is actually a fabric. It's not a plastic. It's like an actual fabric that's here. Outstanding figure. This is the best figure. I'm telling you, I'm as an X-Men fan, this one is necessary to have. She does come with the accessories that we've seen in a lot of other Marvel Legends, which is these plasticky, kind of rubbery colored lightning, or some of them have been for, like Magneto has it to show off his powers of magnetism. And for Storm, I mean, this just is very appropriate to have lightning coming out of her hands. Place the lightning there on her hands, and it truly just completes the effect of Gimli's version of Storm. There you have it. That is the Marvel Legends latest retro wave for the X-Men. And as you can see, Storm just stands out of all of them. Iceman actually looks really cool once you stand him up on that type of sled. It's actually supposed to be kind of like a ram type of thing when, you know, you really think about the comics, how he actually gets around. Dazzler looks amazing. Cyclops is totally the retro version Cyclops, and he looks awesome with that action beam. Silver Samurai, amazing detail. Like the detail is just flippin' amazing. And that Wolverine, even though I make fun of it all the time with that mesh mask, I mean, you could clearly tell that's Wolverine. I mean, you just put on a mesh over your eyes, and the pointy hair is not a dead giveaway. I mean, well, because of comics, it'll hide your entire identity apparently. But it is really cool to see Wolverine with the Maramusa blade. I mean, you could see the Maramusa blade. It looks freaking awesome. They made it like a dark, like black steel type of blade, and it really does actually stick out compared to the Silver Samurais, and you can see the size comparison that you can have them duke it out. Very solid wave. Definitely #1 pick out of this entire wave is Storm and Dazzler, believe it or not. Dazzler is just because of the retro version. What I would absolutely love to see is a Kitty Pryde at some point to pop up, old school Kitty Pryde to complete this X-Men wave. I mean, I'm sure this is one of many more retro waves that are coming our way with the X-Men, especially with those really cool packaging, which is flipping amazing. I mean, I'm going to put Storm back in here after I pose her with the rest of the X-Men, the Gimli X-Men figures that I have. Solid wave. I know the weakest link for many is probably going to be Wolverine, only because they just don't know the backstory of that Wolverine, which is with the Maramusa blade, which is an awesome storyline, and I recommend you guys go out and read it. Until the next, guys, this is Fit Nerd, over and out. Hey superfans, unleash your inner superhero with these super compression shirts, tank tops, leggings, shorts, t-shirts, and even costumes. Link in the description below.
3, 2, 1,